So I just finished doing a new face. I actually followed a new makeup artist here on TikTok. I found something last night. I'm like, I want to try that look. So I followed along and I'm really loving the look. This is the foundation that I used today. And this is the Milk Makeup. It's their Grip Gel Tint Moisturizing Foundation. And I ended up using, this is 6 and I also have a 5. I actually mixed the two and I think it gave me the perfect shade match. And it feels so good. I mean, look, it's flawless. Actually, I'm going to show you so you can kind of get an idea of the texture of this. This is the number 6 and then this is the number 5. As you can see, it's a little bit lighter. I'll blend that too, but look at this. I mean, it just gives a beautiful, look at that. Look at the dew. You can see the hyaluronic acid. You can see like all of like the skincare ingredients in it. And look how beautiful it is. So creamy and it blends, look at that. It blends right in. I think these are worth it. This is really, I love it. I've never tried the Grip Primer that Milk makes, but this is so good. This makes me want to go get the Grip Primer. In fact, my middle daughter, she uses it and loves it. In fact, my youngest daughter, she's like, I want that, but the shades are a little bit too dark for her, so I think I'm gonna have to go and get her some because this is just flawless. And I can say this is going to stay in my rotation because I love it. It's so beautiful. And guess what I did? I'm not a concealer girl. I use a highlight from Trish McAvoy that I've used for 20 plus years underneath here. I normally don't use concealers, but I broke into these concealers that I have because it was part of the routine and I'm hooked. I use the Ritual de Fille, I think it's what it's called, right there. I used that the Ritual de Fille right here. I used it twice. I used this right there first and then I patted it in and with a brush. And then later on in the process, I came back and I used the Iris and Romeo and I just kind of did around the nose, a little bit right there and a little bit on my chin. And I love it. I think it's made a big difference. I don't usually have dark circles, but I just think if you look at my makeup, it just makes everything look brighter and a little bit more lifted. And then I pulled out, she used a MAC. I didn't have the MAC, but I have my Gen C highlighter. First, I put on contour all over my eye, like a light brown, but I did this and I used this differently than I normally do, and it's so much better. The trick is you take this and you put it on the back of your hand and then you kind of rub it in and you pat. So all I did was pat, 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 pat all over my eye, not using a brush, not rubbing it directly, and it's so much better. I also started with a powder blush first. Normally I would think cream, then powder, but no. We used powder first, and then I came in with my Jones Road palette, and with this, and then I took a sponge, I took a wet sponge, and I sponged that on here and around there, a little on my nose, and I love that. And then, of course, my Thrive Cosmetics is what I put on my lashes. I did a little bit of an Urban Decay dark brown liner, and then I also had this, which I hadn't really used, but this was something that the girl says, pull this out. I opened my drawer. I'm like, I have that. This is the Fenty Beauty. It's their Universal, Universal Invisimatte. And this powder is freaking amazing. And I took a powder puff and I kind of did throughout the process because, you know, I love that dewy look, but I'm realizing I'm looking more greasy than dewy. And this is so nice, light, and lovely. And then I baked, very first time of me baking. I thought I couldn't bake because I don't want to bring any attention to any fine lines and wrinkles, but it worked out beautifully because I took the Ciate London translucent powder and then I had this, I hadn't used it yet, my little beauty blender, and I did this and then I patted it off there and then I did do. And you know what? I love it. Look at this, look at it. It just brings everything together. It looks, no wonder the girls are doing this. It really is beautiful. And then finally on my lips, I did a runway row, kind of a brown around. I was having a little trouble with the lips, what she had done. So my lips are different than what the girl was teaching us. But I took Baby, which I love, Baby from Merit Beauty, and I just decided to go with a solid color. She had done some kind of ombre in the tutorial that I was doing, but I couldn't get the ombre lip. So this, I love this. Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow and Jones Road Beauty Brow Gel.